To the best of my ability, what I find so far so good concerning matrimonial aspects in Western world, which is where we are today, is quite different from Africa, you know, because some people that will come here said they are best couples, they want to get married, at the end the marriage is not where to be found. Why? Because the man and the woman, they didn't understand themselves, and before they come together as one, they didn't have good cooperation for themselves. What I mean by good cooperation is that they are not sincere to themselves, and it's likely the woman, when he see that the man is so superior and is so gallant about whatsoever he's doing or whatsoever that is coming out from his mouth, the woman would like to change, and he would like to, you know, form calamity whereby they will drive the man away from the house. That the authority of where we are today, that will support the woman. That is why you see today most of our women, they are lack of matrimonial home, and more or less most of them are single mothers. And I promise Nigeria, and I make them to know that it's not the best decision or it's not the best solution for themselves, because all these things will make our children to be hopeless and useless and senseless and heartless, because there is nothing like when both couples come together and give the child a very good training, home training, to make sure the child grow up in a better platform. You see, that is why you see most of our children today, most of them are behaving like a lunatic. Most of them are behaving like someone that has psychiatric problem or that's supposed to become a psychiatric patient. But to the best of my knowledge, this thing have to be stopped. It have to be stopped in the sense that we have to come to compromise. We have to alerting ourselves, he or she, that all these things have to stop, because this thing will damage our, it will damage our system. It will not make us to have respect in anywhere we go to. They will use it to, to dislike us, that we are not responsible, we are not reliable. So for me, I prefer it should stop, whereby a woman will have a charge for a man. It will go to the government to go and lie to them that the father is not around, or the father is not taking good care of the child, whereas the woman is the problem of the house because she is a dead single mother. That is why they're able to drive. If the woman see that the father of the child is very, very, authentic, it will find one way to use assistant social. We call them assistant social. That is the people that is working under the administrative. They will use it to drive the man out of the house and go and look for a doormat that they can control, like a houseboy, and send him message. So for me, that is not the best way. It's not a good platform for all those women to be behaving so. So we have to put a stop to this thing.
But sorry for interrupting. Like, are you talking against the women, or you are trying to balance it? Because
no, I've never finished what I'm saying. I've already through with the women. Okay. So the men aspect is that, likewise, some men I have seen, based on my investigation and my interview to the Nigerians, I call them and I lighten them, make them to know that even a woman told you that to not work or to not do something reasonable in your life, don't listen to that woman, because at the end, that woman will use you as a slave goat. So you are the man who is like, when we was in Nigeria, we was in school then, they always answer us in the class, our lecturers. Then we said, who is the head of the family? He will say it's a father. Yes, of course, it's a father, is the head of the family to take care of the full entire family. But most of the women that came to Europe, they don't want that. And that is why some men run away from them. Even the one that run away from them, if those ones are sending the women money, because you have to take care of your child, but the women doesn't declare the money, they will still have the guts to lie to the government that the father is not assisting the child. But meanwhile, the government of the country doesn't know. That is why we, today, the representative of Federal Republic of Nigeria here in diaspora, that is why we are fighting against this calamity. to be off and be demolish. We want it to demolish, so we don't want such thing to exist again. So what I'm trying to say is that I go to the men's side. There are some men that will be with a woman. You don't want to do something, you don't want to work, you don't want to do any reasonable thing in your life, you depend on the woman. Have it in back of your mind that one day that woman will throw you out of the house. She will say she is tired about you. So therefore, so you cannot go outside, which is the men, to go and be blackmailing the women that women are bad, they are good, the ones in Nigeria is better than the ones in Europe. No, nobody is better than each other. We are learning from each other. Nobody is perfect except God. You know, they say learner make perfect. So the men should know what they are doing. The women should know what they are doing for peace to reign. Not that we'll be fighting one another. So that is it. And secondly, the business part of it is that not only Nigeria we have to invest. We're in Western world, we have to invest in the Western world. Those ones that said they build 2 flats, they build 4 flats, they build 1 flat, at the end, they don't get anything from the house. Most of them are claimed by the family, most of them are claimed by individually. But where we are today, many Nigerians, they are outside. The Italians, they don't give their house again because of why? They don't. Most of them, they refuse to pay their house rent. So the Italians now decide to come to compromise and discuss a confidential issue within themselves that they will not give foreigners house to rent again. They should go and buy. Buying of a thing for them to know the pain. Then they host the house, what they passed through, they work and suffered, and before they achieve that house. So you have to do the same thing with them. So therefore, for me, I prefer if any fellow Nigerians have the opportunity to buy in a house here, you buy. When you buy, you will see. You will, even though you want to buy a commercial house, you put it in the rent. At the end of the month, you get your money. But the one you said you have in Nigeria is nowhere to be found. It's so obvious for you to be shouting for what you have labored for. So I prefer when you invest in Nigeria, you invest in where you are here. Because where you are here, it takes you time before you go back home. So you cannot be in outside. So my fellow Nigerians, we have to listen for one another so that we will not make mistake, so that we will have concrete answer to give ourselves. So that is what I have to explain to the Nigerians.